Hi everyone, and welcome back to Hawthorne Arts. Today we're going to be looking at what equipment do you need to pass GCSE Art. So you've made the choice to pick GCSE Art, so you're wondering now, do I need to buy anything? And the honest answer to that is no, you don't. Especially if you live in England, it's your school's job to supply you with the basics that you actually need to pass. But if you want to make your life a lot easier, improve at a faster rate, and give yourself more opportunities to raise your grades and get those marks, then I highly suggest spending a little bit of money. Now, there's several reasons for this. To name a few, schools run out of equipment sometimes, so there's just not enough of a certain material to go around. Or maybe you want to continue a piece of work at home or practice to improve your skills and therefore raise your grade. Also, some schools don't give you access to every single piece of equipment. Say, for example, my school didn't have any oil paints, or if they did, they just wouldn't let us use them. So sometimes you might just want to buy stuff so that you can, give yourself more opportunities and experiment more. Also, just a general thing, it's really cool just to own your own stuff. People choose pencils and things like that, and so why use something that someone else has used when you can get your own stuff? But I'm going to break it down just to a few things. I say it's about 5 things that you definitely need if you want to do well in GCSE Art. So here's the list. So number 1, sketching pencils, HB to 6B. Number 2, acrylic paint and a selection of brushes. Number 3, an A3 or A2 folder. Number 4, charcoal and hairspray or fixative. And number 5, a very nice A5 or A4 sketchbook. Okay, it's that simple. That's all I would really advise you buy. I'm now going to go through them one by one and tell you exactly why they're useful. So, sketching pencils. Those are the basic weapons of any artist. These are like your swords. You're going to be doing a lot of drawing, and it's good to have a full set so you can get a good range of tone, right from HB through to 6B, I say. Some people go even darker, and some people make uses of the H's and F's, but I say HB to 6B should do the job. Acrylic paint and a selection of brushes. Now, when it comes to acrylic paint, I say try and learn to use it because it's a brilliant medium that tends to lend itself to GCSE art well, simply because it's flexible and it dries very fast. You can also achieve watercolor effects with it by wearing it down, or you can go the complete opposite way and get a much more thicker look, which you tend to get with something like oil paint. Another thing for it as well is that it's also a very good precursor to oil paint, which if you're going to carry on doing art, say in college or university, you're probably going to be using oil eventually, so acrylic is a good precursor to that. Next, I said an A2 and an A3 folder. And simply put, if pencils are your sword, then these folders are your shield, because presentation is super important and you can't risk damaging your work. You need to make sure you have an A2 or A3 folder that you can use to transport work from school and to home and then back again. And it also is just a safe place to keep your work with your name on it as well, don't forget, so that other people don't pick it up or try and touch it or anything like that. Most schools won't supply those for free, so I'd try and get those as soon as you have definitely confirmed to yourself that you're taking art. Get an A2 or A3 folder. When it comes down to charcoal is a brilliant medium. You can make really good, impactful work very, very fast. You can work on very big scales and get something that will take ages to paint done in literally a few hours. The hairspray is or fixative, both of them do the same thing. Very, very useful to making sure that your charcoal stays in place, and pencil work as well stays in place and doesn't smudge or get damaged. And last of all, a very nice A5 or A4 sketchbook. You see, if you're going to go into the creative industry later on, or you're looking to really improve in art, you're going to need something to record your ideas, to practice new things, and you need a place to do that. And a personal sketchbook, which is separate from your school sketchbooks or journals, is a must, in my opinion. You should always have something near you that you can use to sketch, to draw, just to get down things that are in your mind at the time. That's a really good way to improve your drawing skills in general, and to keep on working even though you're not technically working. And when you get yours, guard it with your life. I mean, I've got ones dating all the way back to year 8, because really it's just useful to see your full progression. And sometimes I find myself going back to them for ideas, because when I was younger, I think that my ideas were way better because I had taken in less knowledge and it was a bit more innocent and youthful and fresh. You can also use them for practicing basic stuff: hands, feet, noses, eyes, mouths, things like that. Getting them down so that when you get to your actual pieces, you know what you're doing and you don't waste loads of time rubbing out on the actual real piece. So yeah, an A5 or A4 sketchbook, absolute must. So one thing I'll say about all this stuff is that the quality of most of these materials isn't actually that important at GCSE level. The only thing that I'd really advise you spending a good amount of money on is the sketching pencils. Cheap pencils feel really bad to work with. You feel it straight away; they just don't feel right, and they won't give you a good quality of mark. But when it comes to things like paint, or even your folder or brushes at this level, you can get away with cheaper stuff, and that's fine. That's fine. It won't affect your work too much. It's only when you get to sort of university level that you really start paying attention to the quality of the stuff that you're using, because people start looking at your work saying, something looks not quite right with that. But when you're younger, it's absolutely fine. I went on Amazon to put in a lot of this stuff, looked for reasonable quality stuff, and found that you can get pretty much all this equipment for about £20. So it's really not that much when you're weighing up your GCSE or a tiny little £20 hole in your pocket. So I would say just go for the investment. Some of the stuff will last you well beyond the GCSE and you can continue using it afterwards. So yeah, have a think about it, and if you can, invest in some of this stuff. Also ask your teachers what they have, whether they advise you getting anything else, just to make sure that you're fully ready and set to get that GCSE of yours. So that's all for this video. Do you feel like we've missed any materials, or which material do you consider essential to your toolkit? Comment below if you want, and don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, and also check out some of our other videos. And that's all for now. Until next time.